Hey guys, it's Zekin and welcome back to Beryl Zoo. Today we're going to be working on building the frontal gardens for the in front of the new entrance slash visitor center, as well as the event center and also the animal hospital. So this is going to be a fun-packed episode, but before I get to that, I'll just like to tell you guys I didn't have any footage for building the frontal gardens, so I would be showing it off in the live portion, but I do have footage which you guys are seeing now of the event center as well as the animal hospital speed build. So yeah, I also did a lot of works on the interior. I did a lot of renovating of the interior because, like I said in the last video, I wasn't really too sure about the food court area, and so I kind of pimped it up a bit, pimped it up a bit, and made it look better, and did some more stuff in other areas too as well. I'll show you guys in the live portion video. And so, well, yeah, I put down the event center because, like I said in the last video, this would be the main source of income for zoos, because the main source of income for zoos are like rentals and donations and stuff like that, but the main long-term the zoos are really sure of income comes from the rentals and everything, because if people want to host events or have festivals or anything, like maybe arts festivals or anything, they can rent out this event center, or like I said in the last video, the back of the museum and stuff like that. So rental areas are really important in zoos as a source of income, and so this is really good as I'm implementing it into the zoo as well. And so for the frontal gardens, it's also it's inspired by Missouri Botanical Gardens concept art as well, but that actually is very the terrain undulations are very severe, and so like I said in past videos, I don't really want the zoo to feel a bit too as if you're in a sense climbing up a mountain. I want it to feel accessible, so it can be easy for people with wheelchairs and stuff like that. People with wheelchairs and strollers, I want it to be easy for them to get around, not that you're just constantly looking for a ramp in a place from place to place. I want it to feel comfortable and you can easily walk, and so I kind of just modified that in the way it fits, and it has this nice slanted geometrical kind of look and feel to it, and it's kind of satisfying actually when it all comes together, as you guys will see in the live portion. It's like a bent out kind of way, and it forms a nice padding system for the exit, the ticket booths, and for the entrance in general. Also, I'll point out more features in the later episodes. The animal hospital. The animal hospital is in front of to the left. Wait, no, that's the zoo's left. To your right of the zoo entrance, as you're coming from the entrance, to your right would be the animal hospital. And so I wanted that to be I didn't really want to hide it too much from the guests, because we didn't from the main road area. And so this road is actually not a state road or anything. This is a private road in which people can drive up to the front and drop off, but this wouldn't be the main drop-up section, because if it was the main drop-up section, then it would be totally packed with people and everything. But this would be the drop-up section for accessibility, stuff like that. So if you're actually coming to the park with a car, I said park, to the zoo, well, it's technically a park, zoo, gardens, whatever. If you're coming to the zoo with a car, you would first park in the parking lot, which I'll be building in future episodes. I haven't actually done any of that yet, but I will be doing that. But I would actually not I'll build the parking lot in much later into the episodes of this, because I feel building a parking lot is kind of a boring process. So I just want to do the more exciting stuff first before I get into the more realistic details and finicky stuff. And so, well, that's it. Um, that's pretty much what I did this week. And so, uh, uh, if you guys would like to skip ahead to this life portion, I would check in the description because I'll be leaving a timestamp for you to skip ahead to the life portion vid for you, because pretty much right now I have nothing else to talk about through this live stream. So, well, through the speed build, sorry. And so, well, yeah, if you like to continue watching this, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the speed build. See you later in the live stream. Oh, I said live stream. Live portion. As promised, we're now in the live portion of the video, so I'll be showing you guys a bit of what I did on the interior as well, but mainly I'm going to be showing you guys the frontal gardens over here. So like I said, this is inspired by the concept art for the new visitor center at the Missouri Botanical Gardens. So they have this like a nice, let me exit out of touch cam for you guys. They have this nice kind of slanted, geometric-y, triangle-y, I don't know what to call it, kind of design going on with it. And so it's kind of like this, basically this is a one big like triangle over here that comes, this angle over here comes all the way and joins up to the circle. Like if you were to, this line joins up here, and this line, if you were to draw an imaginary line over here, it will join up to the circle. So that creates like this circle as being a nice like focal point and the main viewing area of the garden. And so I just like put the Beryl Zoo sign over here and put this elephant statues. It look great, by the way, and I think it made it pop out and really came out nicely. And so it was a really cool design. It was a really cool process to implement. But one thing I'll say, it was not totally easy getting these plants to fit into these small corners and everything, finding the right plants, finding the right textures and everything. I'm no Mike, by the way, so this was a kind of daunting task for me. So in the future, I plan for there to be like a road or something that will come over here. So it's basically what I don't think I've explained to you guys how I plan for this whole layout for the zoo would be. So basically, this is the main like state road and everything. This is the main residential road. So off the road, if you'd be coming from here, you would turn into the main entrance. So this is kind of the private road which was built for this main entrance over here. So it's not kind of like it's stuck right up to the road. It's when you drive in, you would drive up if you like to drop off someone, but this one wouldn't like be the main drop off for people and everything. This would be like drop off for like I show over here, like accessibility and everything. So accessibility drop off, so you wouldn't be allowed to like stay for a long time. So in the future, I plan for there here to be a parking lot, like I said before, a parking lot over here for guests to park, and there'll be a drop-off place for taxis and buses and everything. And so I'll get into that in more later episodes, but for now, this is the main idea. You drop off over here and get into the main exit. It's pretty cool. And one other thing I like to point out is this zebra crossings over here. In the actual Missouri Botanical Gardens, they have this like nice leaf motif design zebra crossing on the road over here. So I just thought, wouldn't it be cool to put actual zebra pattern as a zebra crossing? And so I just played around with some art shapes, and here it is. So I actually put it up in the workshop. If you guys want to use it in one of your zoos or anything, check the description below, and you can subscribe to that and like it or whatever you can do with it. So yeah, so also big shout out to Sui for her sign, Sui Side Up. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description, and link to all as well her road signs and everything. They're really cool. And so like I said in the last video, shout outs also Ricey for her building fonts, which is what I also used for the main Plaza focal point center over here. So if you were coming from here, you would see the sign really nice over here with the elephants in the back. And so one other thing I really found out, I pimped up this the facade for the whole entrance visitor center over here. So these are new world decorations scenery wall pieces. So if I drag it out, you'll see this is that piece over here. I'm sure most of us have not really found a good use for it, but this is actually a really good use. If you sink them into the walls quite enough and let a little bit poke out, they form this nice like I don't know how to explain it. This nice texture, woody, some woody plastery texture over here, and it really gives this facade. It really elevates the facade and make it look more appealing to the eye as well. So I was really happy with how that came out. And so if you turn to the right over here, you would see the animal hospital. So this basically, I didn't, like I said before, I didn't want to hide it away from the guests because I wanted the whole process of animal care and everything that has to do with animals and bringing them in and whatever. I wanted it to be very transparent to the guest point of view. So if guests would actually be interested in seeing stuff, they could like walk over here or walk up to here and actually see the process of bringing in animals and taking care of them. Not that guests would be actually allowed to enter inside, but they will see the process of like when the truck comes in and loads the animal through the back over here and drops it off. That would be really cool to see sometimes. So that was a really cool process. But this, now that I actually think of it, this kind of brings a little bit of concern for like the guest point of view, because if like a mishap were to happen where the animal runs off or something like that, that may harm the guest. But I just thought maybe I'll think about that. But these trees block off like the more backstagey area of this animal hospital over here. Shout out to Mr. Gomez for his backstage barrels and his air conditioning system. That was really cool to put over there. So this pathing system was directly ripped off of the Missouri Botanical Gardens presently. They have this nice like offshoot building to the side, and so I thought this pathing work was really cool. It fit with a nice geometric off the grid kind of weird angled design over here. So I thought it was really cool and really nice to implement into this animal hospital. By the way, the animal hospital, the design was inspired by a building I saw on Pinterest. I think I'll put up an image right now. It's designed by, I think it's actually a school building. I don't know, I kind of remember. It's a school kind of building over here. It's much thinner than this. So I kind of played around with the design and then I came up with this. So this is kind of just like an offshoot, because most of the animal hospital is just plain backstage kind of stuff. So I just really thought it would be realistic enough for them to like make a section to look a little bit of welcoming, so it doesn't look too like gross or anything. So a bit section to look a bit welcoming and look a little bit okay for people who actually look at it from the distance, like looks nice and everything. And so the rest of it is kind of just backstage, because it doesn't really make sense for you to spend all money making the whole place look nice, and because if the guest isn't really gonna see most of it. So one other thing I like to point out is that this like old building over here is ripped off from actually the Google Earth image from the Missouri Botanical Gardens. So they have this like old building. So realistic wise, this would really make sense, because not everything is nice, modern, and dandy, and so it makes sense for them to leave some of these old historic buildings and repurpose them into like maybe electrical houses or stuff like that, or storage facilities, instead of just like breaking them down or demolishing them. So it makes sense to have like this old stuff over here, because sorry, I had that up the whole time. So it makes sense to like have this old buildings over here still standing and still usable, because realistic wise, I keep saying realistic wise, it wouldn't make sense for them to just demolish it and everything. So I really like how that came out. So if we head on, okay, I'm not in Tejicam. Let me get back into Tejicam. Where's our guy over here? So if we head back into Tejicam mode, if we head on inside, I'll like show you guys a bit of revamping and pimping up I did on the interior. And so if you head on into the inside and turn right, you would see I added these metallic grills to the walls of the guest services area to make it look a bit nicer, because it looked a bit plain. The wood just repeats itself and doesn't really look that nice. So I thought putting the grills kind of breaks it up and gives it a nice, like, modern-esque design in a sense. So that was really cool. So on to more of what I did. The food court. Here you go. Like I said in last video, I wasn't really satisfied with the design of the food court, and so I pimped it up and made it look a way much better, nicer. And so firstly, I'd like to give a big shout out to Plastic Swans for her counter stuff. So this is actually, wait, what's happening with the camera? This is actually gotten from one of her, I think it's a blueprint about I forgot her name, but it's really cool, nice blueprint which has a lot of clutter stuff in it. You guys should probably check it out. I'll leave a link to her channel and her the workshop item in the description below, but it's really awesome. So this is actually from I've seen this in actually when I went to Walt Disney World. I saw that they have this counter for serving vegetables and mushrooms and stuff like that. So they have this if you like to, like, maybe order some a burger or hot dog or anything, and you like to add some more toppings to it. They have this nice section over here that you can place down some extra section. I think it was over at Tomorrowland. I think it's the sci-fi restaurant. Like, if you head down and you turn to the left and head straight down the building, you'll see there was this, like, nice sci-fi restaurant. So I saw that they have this kind of implemented into the design, and so I really thought that was a nice feature to add. So shout out to Plastic Swans for her countertop pieces and stuff like that. And so yeah, the food court design was inspired by an image I also saw on Pinterest. I'm a really big Pinterest lover. I'm not sure if I can find the image, but if I do, I'll probably put it up right now. But it has this nice, like, modern tree trunk looking design. And so this is like the tree misc signs. I just sink them into the ground to make it look nice. And so it's kind of like this tree trunk modern column thing, and it looks pretty cool. I think it really gives this place a nice, like, modern feel to it, while leaving it in, like, a nice, I don't know how to say it, modern-y, vintagey kind of feel to it. And so it looks pretty cool and dope right now. And so I'm pretty happy with how that came out. So if you head here, you'll see I added more of these, like, dustbins. So, like, the food court dustbins where you put your plate in and then put your tray and then put the tray on top. Like, well, you throw away everything in the tray into the bin and then put the tray on top, and then some waiter is gonna get it and take it back into the kitchen for washing. And so I really thought this place came out much better than I anticipated it, and how it was. It's way much better than how it was before. So I love how that came out. And so yeah. Okay, so let's get on to the outside area. So if you come in here, wait a second, let me just, if you come in here, come from the interior and go outside and turn yourself to the left, you would and head down, you would be greeted with the event center for Beryl Zoo. Like I mentioned, blah 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 blah, profit and everything. And so this would be like where people rent out the zoo would rent this out to people if they need to host an event or anything. And so that was pretty cool. So if you go here, if you turn here, you'll see by the side of the event center there's an exit, and so this would be the main exit for the zoo. So if you want to exit the zoo from the Wait, oh wait, it's on pause. Let me unpause that for a second. Wait a second, pause. Okay, so if you would be coming from the zoo, like I indicated here, the zoo exit would be on your left side. So you'll be coming out, you head on right, and you'll see the zoo exit over here. So this would be a nice place. So you will just get out and then just head back to the entrance over here. So if you like to get back in the zoo, you go through here and then get back. So this is a pretty cool entrance in the sense, because it just fits in between the entrance and the event center. And so people who just finished off from the event center, they can just exit the zoo here. And so that was pretty cool. Wait a second, what's happening? Okay, so inspectors arriving in 3 months. I don't care about that. We're in sandbox mode right now. And so pretty much that's most of what I did this week. So that's most of what I well, yeah, if you guys like the video, be sure to leave a like and comment, as well as subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you can get notified whenever I post anything new. And so yeah, stay tuned for cinematics that will be coming up soon, and see you next time, guys. Until then, bye for now.